And you know what else is not very deep? My appreciation for ring noses. Ring noses. So, let's answer this question, guys, in the comments. Let's go. Dear ladies, men don't like this. Men, is this true? How about we answer that? Yeah, I say amen to this because I think it looks absolutely awful. I think nose, again, this is a septum ring though. Let's be, I like being precise. And I say this because I was correct. Nose rings usually could be anything, but if it's something here, like the little pearl, there are girls that can pull that one off and be cute. But this, I'm sorry, you're a cow. You're a bull. You're a bull. To me. It looks like a bull. And first and foremost, it's automatically that you're going to give me a bullshit take when I see that. Automatic. But then again, in general, what are you trying to signify? Because if this is an act of rebellion, to be like, I need no man, I don't care what men think, men, if that's the take, that's the idea, if this is the symbol of an independent woman, then isn't it ironic that this is actually, it was created to control and lead cattle? Isn't that funny? It's the opposite. It's a symbol of control. It's a symbol of restriction. It's a symbol of you follow me because I'm the master and you're the cattle. Would I make it illegal? No. If I met you, because this is me in front of a camera, but if I met you in real life, I'm not gonna treat it. I don't do that, guys. I'm a nice guy, okay? I'll think it, but I won't say it. And if you're a friend of mine, I mean, if we are very close, maybe if you ask me my opinion, I guess. If you don't ask me my opinion, I usually don't give. I think unsolicited advice is one of the worst vices. So, yeah, no, I wouldn't really say it. I'd be like, yeah, whatever. I got super long hair as a man, which, by the way, it's something that women do criticize. So, before anyone, not my wife is into men with long hair, and there are girls that are into, like, the heavy metal look, so, of course, I hang out with those. But whatever. There are girls that are like, bro, why is your hair long? Cut that hair. What are you trying to do? And believe it or not, the moment I say, oh, I'm into heavy metal, they're like, oh, okay, whatever. Or if they see me in armor, they're like, yeah, that's fine. But in general, yeah, girls are very critical of the way you dress as a man, or the way you speak as a man, or the way you walk as a man. And then don't put the jeans, and the jacket doesn't look good, and don't put the shirt inside your trousers. And why do you say it that way? And you tell you need to cut this and change that. Girls will do this all the time. But the moment a guy says, man, I really don't like septum rings. I never asked for your permission. Right. Nobody was talking about permission though. I was saying what? Anyways, this looks like shit. I don't even care. In fact, I'm gonna increase it. I'm gonna increase the level of heat. I'm gonna say makeup also doesn't look good on girls unless it's very light. So if it's a girl who does a little bit of the, when they do the tails a little bit here, I think that looks really nice. And I'm always a man who appreciates a lips. But the idea of a full face of makeup that it makes you look worse. So, yes, I am mansplaining makeup to women. And you can't do anything about it because of free speech and First Amendment rights. So anyways, a little off topic. But it's objectively, you spend 3 hours so you can get complimented by other women while you try to hang out with the guy. Just at least be effective about it. Yeah, and the plastic surgery is another thing. Absolutely not. Not in the sense, again, you can do whatever you want. But so can I, so I'm going to say, that's the thing. You can do whatever you want. I believe in your freedom. And in fact, I don't even care any type of surgery, as long as it doesn't involve kids. Any type of surgery you want to do. If you're my brother, I'll try to persuade you not to do it if I think it's damaging. But if you're a complete stranger, free country. If you're a complete stranger, free country, I don't care. And whatever. Do whatever you want. Just like I will do whatever you want. My hair currently reaches my belt, and it's going to stay until I bald. Then I'll consider shaving it. But right now, that's where we are. All right, next nonsensical take. Oh, this is actually an interesting one to talk about something completely unrelated. All right, Cedra says, atheists be like, open quotes, we probably live in a computer simulation, close quotes, like, bro, you just believe in God, except you think he's a nerd. All right, so I'm going to say something. I'm going to steel man the position of atheism for a moment as a Christian, just for intellectual honesty. Not all atheists accept, believe, or are convinced, or even intrigued by the simulation. But those who do, I do believe, are one step closer to accepting the idea of a maker or a creator. So I don't completely disagree with this, but I think it's a little bit like it's not very deep the way it was articulated. Talking about consoles and nostalgia, who remembers this? Who remembers this? Thank you so much, Vent Rumble, for the $10. Have a good stream, brother. Thank you so much for the support. Very much appreciated. Very cool, very cool. A relic of the old age. So I took a picture of this because I'm actually producing an episode for my gaming channel, Metatron's Protectorate, an unashamed plug. And because I recently made one about the Sega Master System, and then I did this. Now this is the European version because of course it says Mega Drive here. And one is actually, the letters are gold and the other one is silver, depending on whether it's the Genesis or the Mega Drive. But if you're American, you'll remember the Genesis. It's the same console. And to me, it is one of the consoles that I have the best memories of. And it's always so nostalgic to unbox it again. This is a functioning, still work. It still works. Isn't that crazy, though, that we have got tech that still works from the 80s, from the 90s and 80s. I mean, Super Nintendo is 1992, but an NES is from 85. I still have it. My NES works from 1985. That's 51 years. Good luck having any piece of tech modernly and thinking it's gonna last until 2077 or 2078. Yeah. I mean, that, you know, I do believe in planned obsolescence when it comes. I know I said this on other streams too, and I do understand that our technology is more complicated, so more moving parts, it's gonna be technically more prone to breaking, but it's not normal. Like, I've seen phones and computers break after 2 years modernly, and then you look at stuff. I have a Commodore PET from 1977 and it worked. How is that possible? So anyways, that's the Sega Mega Drive. I love Sonic the Hedgehog. Fun fact, nobody in Italy, when I was young, knew how the heck you pronounce the word hedgehog. It looked like a faster cluck of letters. It made zero sense. So everyone in Italy either didn't even bother, and we pronounced it Sonic. Either that, or we would say Sonic the Hedgehog. And that's how I said it for the majority of my life until I actually picked up English, which I thought was hilarious. Sonic the Hedgehog. But then again, there is a difference between my generation and the current generation, in the sense that 15-year-olds now speak pretty decent English in Italy. On average, I mean, it's still not as common as it is in Nordic countries where literally homeless people speak fluent English. In Southern European countries, it's still not as prevalent as it is in any form of Germanic language, even like Switzerland, Germany. I think you find people more commonly speak English at a higher level, but it's becoming a thing. Back in the day, when I was a kid, nobody knew anything. Final Fantasy, we would read it Final Fantasy. No one knew anything. Sonic the Edgelord. Sonic the Edgelord is funny. I don't actually need the headphones right now. I'm gonna let my head rest. You know what I played yesterday on this? Ghouls and Ghosts. What a game. I'm actually trying to learn how to speedrun it. It's gonna take a decade. But maybe. It's actually more likely that Elon Musk will finish the first colony on the moon. Currently actually postponed Mars. I don't know if you know that. But I think it's more likely that Elon Musk will complete the first fully functioning colony on the moon than for me to actually learn to speedrun the entirety of Ghouls and Ghosts. But I have faith. I have faith. Don't buy new fridges. 5 years old. I need to replace cores of electronics. Well, yeah, of course. We actually had to replace our fridge. We left it open by mistake for a day, something like that, and it just broke. We had to buy a new one. We even invited a technician to try and do the medieval thing, which is repairing stuff. In the Middle Ages, all the way up to our grandmas, things were repaired, including jeans, clothing. Now it's like the split second something is even mildly inconveniencing us, we throw it away and buy something else. This is, I think, unfortunately, fair description of a massive difference between our grandparents' generation and our generation. Oh, I lost a button, throw away. Buy a new pair of jeans. There's no repairing. And similar with tech. Cannot relate to it. As a Dutch, we adopt English as a second language. I've seen some really fluent content creators who are Dutch and basically they have no accent. I imagine there are plenty of people who do have a thick accent when they speak English and they're Dutch. But one that I do remember is Jacksepticeye's girlfriend. She's Dutch. Evelyn. Gab Smolders. Sometimes I watch her playthroughs of horror games. And in fact, I kind of prefer her over Jacksepticeye because Jacksepticeye screams a bit too much for me. And she doesn't have an accent. She sounds almost, occasionally she has an accent, but I think she sounds mostly American, which is funny because I live in Brighton. But then again, I live in America, and I don't think I sound American at all. But she is kind of accentless. I have an accent. Probably you could tell, if I had to self-analyze myself, I would say that you could tell that I picked up English in England, but I don't sound English in the sense that maybe I sound a little bit in the way I pronounce some sentences, or sometimes if I say puzzle and stuff like that. But in general, you can tell, yeah, I mean, yeah, he picked up English in England, but he doesn't sound it. Where is he from? Type of stuff. And sometimes, particularly when I'm joking, you can tell the Italian intonation comes way back. So I'd say my accent is mixed. It's understandable. I don't believe my accent is too broad to impede communication, but you can tell I'm not a native speaker, if I had to be fair and self-assessed. I don't even know why we ended up talking about that, but here we are. Yeah, that's the thumbnail I actually wanted to show you. This is the episode. The previous episode is already aired on the third channel, and if you follow me on X, there is of course a link, but there are plenty of links in the description box. In the description box. And so yeah. Last Europa Kiss says, I thought you were English at first, to be honest, and I am English, LOL. Well, I appreciate that. It's very nice of you to say. Of course, I tried to pronounce as well as I can, but I know for a fact that every time I say something that sounds like, yeah, maybe I do sound English, then I won't. The split second I say something like that, they're like, no, actually, we don't say it like that. Okay, great. Like, it happened so many times at this point, I'm like, whatever. At this point, it's like, yeah, where we go. There we go, double standards again. You know what, I'm going to skip this. I'm sick of double standards. I'm going to show you something nice. Amiga, if you're English and you're my age, you know exactly what this is. And I showed it the other day, and you'll be like, but you already showed it on the live stream 2 days ago. Yeah, sue me, Amiga 1200. I played Battle Chess yesterday with this machine, and it was phenomenal. And I lose every time. Even if I do easy difficulty, impossible, at least for me, but it is good. Man, I have so many floppy disks. Once again, still most of them working. There are a couple of my floppy disks don't work anymore because they got mold. But I know usually I store them in a dry place, so the only ones that have mold are not my fault. They're the fault of the person who sent them to me, and I will not apologize for it. I love the Amiga. Anyways, kind of wanted to take you for a spin. I think we've got enough base takes for the day, and we're going to move to the next section of the stream. Let me mark it. So where is it? So we did take them for a spin. I literally wrote it like this in my notes. Who cares? As long as I understand my notes, they don't have to make sense to you, am I right? If you're enjoying this video so far, please take a moment to check out my Patreon page. With as little as a $5 support, you can help us ensure that we can continue to produce high quality and high researched content. And at the same time, you get access to polls, extra videos, unlisted streams, and much more. Thank you so much.